All right, we are going to be taking our first example on Supermesh analysis. We already introduced what Supermesh is in our first lecture, so I encourage you to go over that before coming for the sample problems. All right, so we said Supermesh occur whenever there is current sources that is between two meshes. So you can see there's a current source here which is between this mesh and this other mesh. So how do we go over this question? And you know that this current here, this current source here will prevent us from writing the normal KVL equation of each of these mesh. So we are going to be employing a method here. The first thing we are going to do is to assign the mesh current to each mesh. So let's do that. All right. All right. All right. So that's it. So we are taking a clockwise direction. Taking a clockwise direction. So this is the first mesh. This is the second mesh. All right. Now, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to be applying KCL. So let's call this node here. We can make use of this node as, let's call this place node A. Let's call this place node A. You can also make use of this place if you want. Anyone you want to, you can make use of this place. Anyone you want to make use. All right. Now we said current I1. Look at the direction. It's going towards this direction, right? It will be rotating like this. So we can say that this will be the direction of I1. It's going away from node A. So this will be I1. I2 is coming towards node A. I2 is coming towards node A. All right. Now, so the first thing is to apply KCL to node A. Let's call it A. Let's see if it's going to contain it. Let's just call it A, but you know it's node A. All right. Now, if you look at this, the sum of current that is coming in is I2. So it's going to be I2 will be equals to I1 plus what? Plus 6. This is going to be equation number 1. You can see I1 is going away from this node and I6 is also going away. Now, the second thing we are going to do is we are going to remove the current source that is between mesh 1 and what? And mesh 2. And from us doing that, we are also going to need to remove this resistor here because current is not going to flow through it. Is that clear? All right. So I am supposed to draw another diagram here, but in case of not to be wasting time, so we can just clean it. So this will form a super mesh. So you can see now, you can see the diagram clearly now. So this is giving us a super mesh. That is the combination of two meshes. You understand? Combination of mesh 1 and mesh 2. All right. So we can therefore apply our what? Our KVL. That is the Kirchhoff voltage law. So we are going to apply KVL to the super mesh. All right. So that's it. Now, how do we apply KVL? Very simple. This is our current for mesh 1. This is the current assigned current for mesh 2. All right. Now we are moving in a clockwise direction. So let's start with mesh 1. We are moving from negative to what? Positive. So it shows that we are going to have a voltage gain. So that is going to be 20. All right. Now we are still in mesh 1. The current flowing in this branch is going in this direction, and we are also going in the same direction as the current. So it shows that the voltage drop across this resistor is going to be taken as what? Negative. So it's going to be minus what? Minus 6I1. All right. So we are now in mesh 2. We are going in this direction. The current is flowing in that direction, and we're also going in the same direction with the current. So we're also going to have a negative voltage drop here, which is minus 10 I2, and again, if current is coming downward, you understand, we're also going towards that direction. So we are going to have minus 4I2, everything will be equals to what? 0. So we are going to have 20 minus 6I1. Then if we add this together, we are going to have what? Minus 14I2 equals to what? 0. Alright, so we can therefore say that 20 will be equals to 6I1 plus 14I2, equation number. Okay, let's not, because we can still reduce it by 2. We reduce this by 2, that is going to give us 10. Reduce this by 2, you are going to have 3I1 plus 7I2, equation number 2. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to substitute equation 1 into equation 2. So put 1 into 2, I'm going to have 10 to be equals to 3I1 plus 7 into I2 is what? Is I1 plus what? Plus 6. Alright. So here we're going to have 10 is equals to 3I1 plus 7I1 plus 7 times 6. 7 times 6 is 42. So it's going to give us 42. Alright, so here we are going to have, if we move 42 to that side, we're going to have 10 minus 42 equals to what? Equals to 10I1. Alright, so 10 minus 42, that is going to give us 32, minus 32 equals to 10I1. So if we divide both sides by 10, I1 will be equals to minus 3.2 ampere. Alright, so we can therefore find our I2. We are going to substitute negative 3.2 for I1 in equation number 1. So we are going to have I2 to be equals to minus 3.2 plus 6. And minus 3.2 plus 6 is nothing but what? 2.8. So 2.8 ampere. Alright, so I1 is minus 3.2 and the I2 is what? 2.8 ampere. So this is how to go about the solution for this question. I hope the question is well simplified. You can comment that in the comment section. And if peradventure today is the first time of coming across our content, do well to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to smash on the notification bell so that anytime we upload a video like this, you'll be the first to receive the notification. And don't forget to also share with your friends who might be in need of this. And mind you, we also have our material on circuit analysis, well structured, well simplified, good for your exam. Do you understand? So how do you get this material? You can check the description of this channel. You have access to our email, you have access to our WhatsApp number. You can DM us anytime. You also have assignments, or you have any project you are working on that is a little bit confusing, or any topic at all, you can reach out to us. We are going to be of help to you. Thank you. Stay tuned for more.